Hey guys, I'm Erik Peterson, and I'm a men's dating and relationship coach for skillofattraction.com. And today's attraction tips video is called The Top 3 Signs She's Losing Interest. Now, when women begin to lose interest in a man, it happens slowly and subtly. And if you're not paying attention, it's hard to recognize. And most men aren't paying attention. They don't notice that their girl is losing interest until she has completely lost interest, and sometimes it's too late. And oftentimes even the woman isn't quite sure why she's no longer interested. She just knows that she's not feeling it. And then the guy, he starts acting needy and insecure, and he starts chasing her by blowing up her phone or trying to use logic and reason to convince her that she's wrong about all this. And this just pushes her away even more because now she's starting to lose respect. And as a result of that, then she breaks up with the guy, but he wants answers and he can't get a straight answer out of her as to why she didn't say anything before or why she lost feelings to begin with. And this is typically when men come to me to help them get their ex-girlfriend back or their soon-to-be ex-wife back. But the thing is, if you could catch her dwindling interest before it's too far gone, it'll be a hell of a lot easier to turn that around rather than waiting till it's so far gone that she barely even wants to talk to you anymore. So in this attraction tips video, I'm going to be discussing the top 3 signs that she's subtly losing interest in you so you can begin to take the steps in order to turn it around and get her interest back up. But if you guys have noticed that your girl is starting to lose interest in you, or maybe you're having some other issues in your relationship and you need my help and you want to talk to me right away, the best way to do that is to head over to my website at skillofattraction.com, click on the coaching tab, and there you'll see I have several options for you to choose from. I offer emergency email coaching that includes a response from me on weekends and holidays. And I also offer bi-weekly and monthly email coaching where I will work with you throughout that time period. Additionally, I offer 1-hour phone coaching for my US clients. Now, if you're outside of the US, I will have something for you guys in terms of phone or Skype coaching sometime in the future. But for right now, email coaching is the way to go. And I will post a link to both my contact page and my coaching page in the description down below. Now, the first sign that a woman is beginning to lose interest in you is when she's no longer putting you first. Now, when they have a very high level of attraction for you, you are a top priority for the most part. She will put you ahead of her family, her friends, her goals, her hobbies, her religion, sometimes even in front of her kids in order to see you and spend time with you. But just to be clear, when I say women may put you in front of their kids, doesn't mean that she's going to be leaving her kids at home alone and starving. What I mean is she'll hire a babysitter, or maybe she'll skip that after school function just so she could see you. But when she begins to lose interest in you, suddenly you're just not as important anymore. And this doesn't mean that you're the lowest priority, but when she had a super high level of attraction for you, she was canceling plans in order to be with you. Now she feels that you could wait. And this means that she might not be as available for dates anymore, or maybe she has gone as far as canceling plans with you for something more important. Where before, she was canceling plans with her friends to be with you, now she's canceling plans with you to be with her friends. The next sign is when she starts to become less responsive. Now, this could mean that she's not as quick to respond to your text messages or your phone calls, or maybe her text responses are just very short, like one word, or very cold responses. When a woman has a high level of attraction, she wants your attention all the time, and she will jump at just about any opportunity to speak or engage with you, especially if you're a very busy man who is mostly focused on his purpose. When you finally have time for her, she's pretty much front and center, just ready to absorb all of your presence. When her attraction or interest level begins to drop, she's suddenly not that eager for your attention any longer. Actually, a good general rule of thumb is that the longer it takes for her to respond, the more likely it is that she's losing interest or you're just not that important right then. That's not all the time. Sometimes she's actually just busy, but it's really something that you should pay attention to. And the final of the top 3 of the signs that she's losing interest is when she's no longer as affectionate with you. And by this, I mean when she's calling you all those cute pet names, or she's touching you and she's kissing you. And note that I didn't mention anything about sex, because women can still have sex with you when their interest is dropping, though it will probably be far less intense. I mean, even though that her attraction, she's no longer attracted to you at all, she could still sleep with you and have sex with you, even though deep down she may be just completely repulsed. I mean, there has been plenty of women over the course of human existence that have done this, so it's really no different in the modern age. However, kissing you and touching you is different. Only a woman with a high level of attraction wants to be close to you, and she just can't keep her hands off of you. And they also will often call you those cute little pet names, like sweetie or darling or my love, things of that nature. So these are the signs that you want to look for if you feel that she's losing interest in you. However, like I said in the beginning, that it's best that you catch this stuff before her attraction drops too far. I mean, obviously, that's why I'm doing a video about it, so you know what to look for ahead of time. And what's tricky about all this is that a woman's attraction for a man is a sliding scale. It's always fluctuating up and down. Some days it's way up here, she's super into you. Other days it's kind of like, I could take him or leave him. And it doesn't always have to do with what you're doing or how you're behaving either. Sometimes it's just outside forces, like the daily stresses of life or hormones. So just because one day you're not a top priority doesn't necessarily mean that she's losing interest in you. And it's the same thing if she's taking her sweet time responding to you all week. Just because this week she's having a bad week doesn't necessarily mean that she's losing attraction for you. So what you want to look for is consistency in her behavior. So you actually really do have to pay attention. And if she's doing all 3 at the same time, I would say that's a pretty good sign that her attraction for you has dropped pretty significantly. It's always a good idea to mirror her emotions and her effort level when you start to notice a change in her, because this way you're not chasing her too much, nor are you being too cold. You're really just giving her no more or no less of what she's giving you. So this is really a good way to balance it out. Because if you start chasing her or trying to close the gap between you two when she starts pulling away or acting distant, it's only going to cause her to pull away more and be even more distant. But you don't want to be too cold either. So these are really the signs that you want to look for, and you really need to pay attention so you could act accordingly, because if you let her attraction drop too far for too long of a time, this is usually when women start saying that they've lost feelings, or I still love you, but I'm just not in love with you, things of that nature. So you really need to pay attention, because most guys don't pay attention and they're completely shocked when this sort of thing happens. So if you guys have found this video helpful, or any of my videos helpful, I would really appreciate a thumbs up and for you to share it with any of your friends and family. And I'd also really appreciate it if you hit the subscribe button down below and tick that little bell symbol next to it so you get real-time notifications of when I upload new videos. And in the description down below, not only will I have a link to both my contact page and my coaching page, but I also have a link to PayPal if you deem this video worthy of a donation. So that's it for this video. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Have a good one. Bye-bye.